Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Boopy, 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 boop, boo. Oh, I can add photos to this? This is cool. Guys, first time kind of doing, I want to do this, but it's not letting me because I wanted to do this. Nope. Guys, I'm not trying to make you sick, I promise. I want to do that, and I want to turn. No! Dang it! Hi. No breaks. Guys, from my living room, welcome in. No breaks on a Monday. First time, well, I remember doing this once from my phone in a car on my way back from the airport. So I'm wondering a couple things from my friends in the chat who watch No Breaks regularly. This is my first time doing a live from my phone at my house in a different part of my house, not through the streaming software that I normally do it from on my computer. So a couple of things, questions for you viewers. I am vertical right now. Please confirm. I really want to make it horizontal because I want to make it how lame. I want to make it, well, that FedEx guy couldn't be any louder out there. Bro, it's like a huge cul-de-sac. Why must you beep so loudly? What is happening? Thanks. I didn't even think about the sounding good part. I was just here to pop on. Frankly, for a couple of things. First of all, happy Monday. I hope everybody's doing great. Still a solo Monday, and that's going to change at some point, I promise. And boy, are you going to be surprised. I am here because my husband's on a work trip today. Wilson's on a work trip today. So where I do no breaks normally is like in a different part of the house that the baby monitor doesn't reach. It's Monday, right? Yeah, okay, good. Whew, made me nervous, Salvador. And so panoramic view is much better. I know, but if I turn it, I don't think it goes with me. Does it? If I do that, am I just sideways on your computer screens? It's telling me to rotate it back, but what does it do for you guys? It literally won't let me say hi to you guys, so I'm gonna leave it. Whatever, we're gonna leave it. Oh, I went sideways? Oh, that's exciting, but look now I can't see your chat. This is annoying. Okay, well, we're gonna leave it like that. I'm also sideways, and I also realized, like, oh, there's Toby. Hey, Tobe. I'm like a little bit tilted down. Let me fix this. No breaks. We're figuring this out together. It's kind of fun to go to a different part of my house, to be honest. Okay, that feels... So I should... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to leave it like that. Because also, when I turn it sideways, then it takes away the chat. And I got to be able to see the chat. Buddy, it's just the FedEx guy. And I know he's being, like, overly complicated out there. That's Toby, by the way. Did you guys know I had a dog? Toby's cool. He's like, how old are you, Toby? Almost 9. He'll be 9 this summer. Buddy, it's okay. The FedEx, oh. Oh, tell him. Hello. Yes, that's our tree. That's part of the title for today. What was it? Adult hobbies and Christmas cleanup. So here's something that happened over the, it also isn't in YouTube on my Sony TV. Oh, that's odd. So I wonder, Brian, if that's because normally I like schedule. I need a room that rotates. That's funny. I think normally, Brian, I schedule, adult hobbies. I said adult hobbies. It's new hobbies. You're right. I schedule the broadcast and then I start it. And that's from this software that I use, OBS software. but I'm not using that today. And so I wonder if I'm just like available on live stream on regular YouTube now. This is all different. We're going to figure it out. I also think this is like a new feature that I have because of the 1,000 subscribers, which what's up? Love you guys. You're awesome. New hobbies. My kids in my stocking this year got me a pack of sports cards, player cards. Hi, what's up? Hi, somebody watching from the Philippines. So I think they got it for me because they were with Wilson somewhere to like shopping for something. And they know that I work in football in some capacity. They kind of get what I do, but they mostly just know that like I watch football all the time. And so I think what I gather happened is they were somewhere and they saw the like trading cards and they bought me a pack because they wanted something to put in my stocking. So I was like, oh, this is cute. I remember having some trading cards okay, that's interesting to know, Brian. Thank you for letting me know. I remember having trading cards as a kid, and they were mostly like of Minnesota athletes. But then I got rid of those. But now I have this new pack, and the cards are kind of cool now. Have cards changed? I think they have. Anyways, perhaps a new hobby is in tow because I honestly think this FedEx guy is trying to troll me right now. Like, is this a normal... Toby. Oh my gosh. What is this person delivering? A couch? Toby's bark is kind of scary. He's the nicest. Oh. I think it's just because it's myself and the baby in the house. He gets like a little extra noisy. No, it's not for us. It's for the neighbor. I can see the guy out there. Buddy, it's okay. Is it just because it's us two in the house? Yeah, you've got to tell him. Tell him. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Tail. So I think, what's NMR stock? What's that? Is that sports trading cards? Leave it be, he adds to the ambiance. So I think I'm going to get into sports trading cards. Now, here's what I'm wondering about that these days. Is that still something that's popular? Are people into this? Because the new ones are awesome. Like the way they print in the different packs, like the base cards, and then the like shiny ones, the reflectors. I was really into the single pack, and now I'm just kind of looking at them. And I think I might get into it. Plus, like, it's cool to be able to, it's a good way to tell the stories about the players. And I think that's going to be my new hobby. Because, you know, I have this theory. It's not my theory. My brother-in-law actually brought this to our attention because it's my sister's husband. It's, he cares for, he's an ICU doctor. And he cares for, you know, some people that are at end of life or have illness or the elderly. He cares for a wide range of people in the ICU. But he said that as you age, you should try to have three things: a social hobby, a physical hobby, and an intellectual hobby. And that just will kind of give you good longevity for how you can spend your time as you age. So, for example, if you have like only 3 physical hobbies, what happens if you like get a back spasm or something, those 3 hobbies, and if your social is tied into your 3 physical hobbies, if you get an injury and you can't engage in that anymore, what happens if that goes by the wayside to your, you know, just like everyday enjoyment and livelihood? So, so a lot of people who got into sports cards again over COVID. Oh, that's cool. Oh, interesting. Oh, people care about Pokemon cards. Well, that's what my kids got. So we'll see. We might become a big card family. We'll see. Anyways, could sports card, I guess if you do it, you do trading, or can you just collect them? Sports cards might become does that count as intellectual? I'm actually over here thinking that it's intellectual. Because I do think that there's like a social piece to it, conversational, like what do you have, what do you not? And it's, what else? My physical, I think, will end up being like tennis and or golf. I do love tennis. I just am not committed yet to the time that it gives up. And then golf, I just will do because I think it's fun and it takes you to beautiful places. And then my social kind of, I guess, would be tied to both of those things. But what would the social one be? Like a book club or something? I have to get back to you on that, what my social aging hobby is going to be. TBD on that one. But I wonder if sports cards could be up there. We'll see. We'll see if it tickles the fancy. And then Christmas cleanup, you're looking at it. Yesterday, I started the Christmas cleanup, and listen, the joy and the effort and the energy, boy, was it there back on November 8th. Boy, was it there. And I was the one driving that energy bus with my spouse because I was going to go to Spain the next weekend, and I was like, I really want the tree up at least. That big old tree that we have to decorate. This one over here. That thing went up on November 8th. It didn't get, I think it got lit. It was lit and I put ornaments on it. Or I didn't put ornaments on it. That came on Thanksgiving. But putting it away now is like, I need it all to disappear immediately. And it can't disappear fast enough. And yesterday, he actually went on the work trip yesterday, and I texted him, like, the house looked like a tornado came through it yesterday. And I was like, I think I started too many projects. And they were all happening in different spots. So this is like a couch that we don't really sit on very often behind me here. And we don't do a lot of sitting in general for this family of 3 children, 6 and under. It's just a lot of like up, down, moving outside, blah, 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 up the stairs, down the stairs, whatever. And so I was like, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect all Christmas and put it on this couch behind me. And this actually ended up working. Christine, thank you so much. I know you usually can't watch it live. Thank you so much. Go Bills. I gave my game ball to somebody from the Bills today. And that's so funny. That's a good stance to put a trash bag over the tree. It makes me wish we lived in like Harry Potter land and you had like an invisibility cloak, but it shrunk everything and you could just like throw a big blanket or a big cloak over your already decorated tree and it would like make it invisible and shrink it down to the size. And then when you took off the cloak next year, it would just expand in the place that you wanted it. Gosh, that would be incredible. One of like 5 things really I would do was if I could have magic in my life. But anyways, this is my new tactic, is that it's all I'm just gathering Christmas as I see it and I'm putting it into one spot in the house. And then this weekend when there's wild card football on, the empty storage tubs, which you can see one here, will be brought to me by the person in my life who goes up in the attic, aka Wilson. And then I will pack the tubs and then he can put them up in the attic. Instead of I was starting the process of bringing the tub to the crap and putting the crap in, and then I was like, well, now this tub is really heavy. I can't lift it. And it's just sitting in the middle of this area that I don't want it in. So we recouped on the Christmas cleanup. But I'm just wondering if this is a common feeling. Like, I am 10x about Christmas. I love it. I put it up. It's everywhere for us. We are like a 0.5 on a 0 to 20 scale for every other holiday decorating in our house. And we are at a 20 for Christmas. So it's not that I don't love it, but it's the fact that it's all been out since November 2nd. And my gosh, emotionally, come January 2nd, you're like, get this out of my life. Return it all to the store. We're never doing this again. This is insane. So that's where I'm at right now. But I kind of like this stance that I've taken, which is it's all gonna be collected right here. I see a tree in a bag over here that I was battling yesterday. It also feels nice too, for example, like we have this like nice bar set up to my left. And there was a bunch of Christmassy stuff like placed on the bar, fine. But it's like when you finally remove it, and also I took we had 2 trees within like 10 feet of each other. When I took this other tree down, it's like, oh, there was light brought into the room again. You also kind of realize how darkening trees can be. So, and then when you declutter, I actually think it makes you appreciate what decluttering looks like. So it is amazing. Kevin, you're exactly right. And Alex, you're the roadie. That's funny. I'm gonna adopt that now. Yeah, my husband's the roadie too. He's the creative director. I would say that. Like he does we both do Christmas purchasing, but like he and I have definitely curated quite the Christmas scene in our lives over the last 11 years together. But he is the roadie. I am like the hands-on placement. I am in charge of placement. Product placement. Yes, we got there. And then he's the roadie, and we're both in purchasing. How about that? Anybody else want to bring something to the table for our Christmas decoration parallel? So, like I said, this is No Breaks with Jamie Erdahl. If anybody is watching this for the first time because I'm streaming it a little differently today, hi, I'm the Jamie Erdahl part of the No Breaks. This show has been on every day, Monday through Friday at this time since October 1st. This is the 64th show. And this is what we do. We just sit here and talk about the goings on in this life du jour. Thought about leaving the tree up. See, that's what my friend Giselle does, Brian. Leaves the tree up and then they change the decoration around it. That's a good question. So, your name is odd to me, King Charles Parody. I guess you're trying to be a parody account of the royalty? Okay. I did that. I still see that live. But it's in the live that I did from my phone on the way back from Spain. I still see it on my account, but it's under like a different tab. So it is interesting to me that you say that you can't see it now. So that's a good question about whether or not it will stay up. I don't know what this 1K subscriber life does, but we're here. We out here. Oh, this says top fans up here. Can I change to all fans? Fans. What a loaded term. I want to be able to see everybody's chat. Toby's a great co-host, right? How you doing, Tobe? How you doing, bud? You want to get up? You come see the people. Here, put your face up here. This is Toby. He still has his Christmas collar on. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Are you a good boy? Yeah. You love your sisters? How old are you? 8.5. You're 8.5. You're a big boy. That's an 85-pound black lab. Okay, you can go lay down. I love you. I'm sorry I disrupted you. I'm sorry. You go lay down. Go ahead. Go lay down. Go to your bed. Go on. I won't look at you. Go ahead. Go lay down. Good boy. Good boy. Toby is a classic dog where I think it's a lab thing. He's like, if you give a mouse a cookie, like if I had kept talking to him and even looking at him, he wouldn't have gone back there. Like, you have to sit in silence. Anybody who meets him, he's like a butt scratch dog. He's not like an ear or anything. He wants his little boop, boop, boop behind scratched. And he will, in all of his 85 pounds of glory, like turn and just lean against somebody with his backside. And he's so large, people kind of get like, whoa, they get like knocked over a little bit. So I'm like, sorry, he just like really likes his butt scratch. And they're like, okay, Toby, okay, nice, Toby. And you can tell certain people like when they want the dog to go away. Like that is I get it. I'm actually not, I'm a Toby person. I'm not I'm not going to have another dog after this. This is the only dog I've ever had. This is it for me. Toby will be it. Like, I will not get another dog after this. And so I used to be terrified of dogs. I was like jumped by 2 different dogs when I was a kid. The first one was, I was fairly young. I want to say like 5 or 6. And this dog, it ended, I think he was a sweet dog. It was one of those huge, like white, fluffy, like they look like Ottomans. Those, what are the Bernese mountain dogs? No, but they're not white. What are those dogs? Anyways, it was all white and he was huge. He was like the size of a table. And his name was Bear. He lived 2 doors down. And when I was like 5 or 6 years old, I kind of like went up to Bear and, hi Bear, you know, and now that I have my kids, I know that size of child is tough because especially for bigger dogs, they're kind of right at the face level. Anyways, Bear batted me in the face with his paw. It wasn't a Saint Bernard because, was it a Husky? No, that one, Samoyed. Is that how you say that? that one, that NDNZN just wrote. That's the kind of dog it was. They're really big, right? I'm telling you, there's a certain dog that looks like an Ottoman. Anyways, this dog Bear bat me in the face. I don't blame him, honestly. I think he had these big boys that lived 2 doors down had him. Like they were used to he was used to teenagers, Bear was, and I didn't know dogs at all. We never had one growing up, and so he just was like, I said, hi, Bear, and then he bopped me right in the face. That hurt. I had like scratches kind of like right straight across my, it looks like Hannibal Lecter a little bit. I think it was like a 5-year-old. So that was not pleasant. Don't get me wrong, I'm downplaying it now. I was like terrified at the time. My mom was not pleased whatsoever. And then later, a couple years later in life, I was at the beach in maybe like Delaware or something, and this guy had his yippy little dog. A yippy little dog on a leash, but he was just standing on the leash. And we were just being kids running around, like a couple cousins and whatever. And we were playing tag or something, and I took off. I went running like opposite direction. This person's not in my family. I don't know this dog. Anyways, I went running, and the guy like let his foot off the leash instead of holding the leash. And the dog like came after me. Like I think he thought we were playing. I definitely was not playing. I don't know this dog. Yippy dogs have a lot of energy. Anyways, I was at the beach. I was in a swimsuit, and the dog like jumped up on my back. It was that was scary too. So I was scared of dogs for a long time, a really long time. This is like a known thing, like amongst my friends, amongst my oldest friend that I saw over Christmas. Actually, her family gets these huge dogs that have so much energy. I'm really bad with dog types, by the way. So me trying to explain to you what they are is not helpful to anybody. What are her dogs? Oh my gosh, they're big and they have so much energy. They're like really good runner dogs. They're also, I think, like the Bernedoodles. Are those kind of big? Are they like built like Toby, but they're anti-allergen? Is that right? Somebody help me out with that. She always had these Bernedoodles. Let's just call them that. And they sounded like they were trying to escape like an insane asylum when I would go over to her house to pick her up for basketball. And she would like have to, first of all, I would like get to her house to pick her up, run up, knock on the door, which would like set the dogs off. The dogs are like jumping, freaking out, making all this scratching noises, originally terrified of dogs person. I run back to my car, and then I can see her trying to get out of the house, like opening the door and like using her leg to like keep the dog in there. And I'm like, how is this fun for anybody? These dogs seem insane. So anyways, now today, the present day, I go and see her over Christmas, and I'm like loving on her dog because Labradoodles, thank you. Yeah, that's what they are. Because they remind me of Toby now, and she's like, the fact that you're even addressing my dogs now is like so laughable to me because of how insane you used to be. Terrified of dogs. My sister got a dog first. She got a beagle when I was in college, and that was kind of like my introduction to having a dog in my intimate space, just because I spent so much time at her condo because I went to school. Hello in New York. I went to school near her, so the beagle was the first, and the beagle's kind of like a house cat type dog. I've learned now, like, and by house cat, I mean likes to lay on the top of the couch, really more of a people dog than a dog's dog, if you know what I mean. Now we're just kind of like character judging dogs, but that's what we're here for. This is the kind of stuff that we stumble into on No Breaks. Penny was her name. So that was like my reintroduction to like, oh, you know what? Dogs, I think when kind of like parented appropriately can be like lovable and sweet. So Penny kind of got me back on the dog track. Then I dated somebody who had a pretty nice dog. The dog was nicer than him in the end. So that was a good life lesson as well. And then I started dating my now husband, and he never had dogs growing up. His brother is woefully allergic to dogs, which is like really hard because he's like sensitive to like hotels that let pets in. Like it's really bad. In fact, I actually really feel for him because my brother-in-law, because he like with airplanes now letting just like everybody on with their emotional support animal, like he really suffers. And because if you have like a severe peanut allergy, people are like, don't have peanuts in the first, like the rows on either side of this, fine. But like someone who's in like a locked air chamber with like several animals that have dander and he has just like crazy asthmatic allergies, you're kind of like, ugh. Thank you so much. Thank you. Christmas was great. I hope your New Year was great as well. And oh, hi Sigmund the Beagle. Nice. So anyways, we got together and we had gotten married in July of 2017. We decide we want to get a dog, we think. First time dog owners, both of us, both sides, never had one to our name. And we had an idea. We really wanted to get a chocolate lab. We didn't know how to go about this. So we were living in Pennsylvania at the time, and we did end up going through like an dog adoption place, and I'll have to find the name of it again, but they had like adoptable dogs on their site, and Toby's litter was the only one that like had labs available, but it's kind of a sad story. Toby's like crew of pups were taken in from a breeder that was like shut down. Whoever kind of like governs dog breeders or like treatment of dogs, like they went in there and was like, this place can no longer exist. Like, you're done doing this and we're gonna take the dogs out of here. So when they did that, they took in Toby and his two brothers. So there were 3 dogs that looked like Toby. And I think I've said this before on GMFB, but I'll tell you the story. I think I've said it before on the show. My husband's mom, the mother of 2 boys and a girl, her nickname is Diesel, from like the NBA player, the Diesel. And she's like the world's sweetest woman. And yet she was bestowed this nickname Diesel when her boys were teenagers. And weirdly enough, that day on the website when we went to adopt Toby, it was like something, the 3 dogs, and his original name, his given name at birth was Diesel. And we're like, oh, we should adopt this one. In hindsight, if you ask Wilson now, he says we should have adopted all 3. Maybe, I could see it. But we had just left New York City, our apartment in New York City, first time dog owners, and we had purchased our first house in like suburban Pennsylvania. And so I'm like, 3 dogs? I went from being like a 0 dog person to a 3. Are you kidding me? So we just got the Diesel, aka Toby. And we had already landed on the name Toby because when we originally thought we wanted a chocolate lab, even though we call him Dark Chocolate Lab now, because he's named after a Toblerone bar. His full name is Toblerone Minnetonka, my married last name. So that's how we landed on the name Toby. Nobody asked, but that's the story we stumbled into on No Breaks. And now we're 1 dog people. I know someone says like, oh, the kids might. My thing is, my childhood, my mom doesn't like dogs that much. She's come around now because they live with us half the time. But she like, when I was a kid, she did not like dogs that much. And then I was terrified of dogs. So it was kind of compounded. Like we were almost like an anti-dog house. I'm open to being dog people. I'm not going to like reject animals in my home, but I I remember my childhood just being like so, and childhood into my teenage years, don't get me wrong, so busy and so complicated. And like, I know what it took for my mom and dad, my parents, to like get my sister and I to like all the activities that we were into as kids. And I really, really look forward to that phase in life. Like, I can't wait to kind of just be like driving everywhere and like doing all the logistics of like, this person's got tennis and then we got to go to soccer and then but you're both on this basketball team and all that stuff. I can't imagine how much more complicated that gets when you have not only a dog at home, but the timing of what this is going to end up being. Oh, Toblerone, Minnetonka, like Lake Minnetonka. Somebody asked for his full name. Lake Minnetonka is the area in which my husband and I are both from. So his full name is Toblerone Minnetonka, and then my married last name, which is not one that you should care about because it's not the one that you know, which is my TV name, Jamie Erdahl. Toblerone Minnetonka. That's him over there. Toby Minnetonka. So Toby's 9. How long is Toby gonna live for? He's a lab. Like, if we're lucky, like 12? Is that right? I feel like I've seen some labs that could make it to like 15, but they have to get like lifted into their car to like go for a walk at the park. So let's say generously he lives another 5 years. Then my oldest is 11, 9, and 7. So I just feel like then Toby, sadly is going to be no longer with us. There's going to be the grieving. And then I've seen this before with people. Then they kind of identify like, oh, we really want another dog. Re-entering puppy phase with let's say it takes a year for us to get our act together and be like, oh, we would like another dog. Re-entering puppy phase with 3 girls ages 12, 10, and 7, that's not fair to the dog, in my opinion. And I just don't, I'm not really into being like, we got to take the dog with us to the soccer tournaments. Again, I only have like a one-person perspective. And mine was, I didn't have a dog in my childhood I actually kind of love how this is setting up. Like, the first 10 years of my oldest child's life is going to be filled with this dog. And sadly, this animal will teach us love and grief and feeling deeply for something and care for something that's going to age. Like, there's just going to be so many incredible unconditional love, all those things, lessons that come along with the next 5 years with Toby. I just don't think it's fair for what I want to do for the dog to bring a dog into a life of like just you're entering like crazy activity phase. I might be wrong. But that's kind of my anticipated stance on that. But again, hopefully we get another 3 to 5 years with him because he's cool. He's cool as shit. There are these awesome dogs that live across the street from us, and Toby greets them very eagerly all the time. And, oh, I'm so sorry you lost your dog. Oh, yeah, 14 years. That's really good. Yeah, training is the hard part. I get that. Toby was trained. Again, I didn't know what I was doing when we got him, so we ended up sending him. There was this really cool family in Pennsylvania that did like in-home training. They advertised well. They were like, listen, our house we want to train a dog that's going to be like a family dog. You're going to have like strict rules, but it's meant for a family. Like, I wasn't going to send Toby to like hunting training, which is very common in Pennsylvania. Like, the second I started looking up lab training in Pennsylvania where we lived at the time, it was like, we'll take your dog for a month, and when he returns, he will be able to get the best ducks on the planet. You're like, no, I don't want that. Oh my gosh, great story about that, by the way. So we found this family who they'd taken 2 dogs at a time into their home for 2 weeks. And when the dog gets returned to you, they've learned very basic things. Like, he doesn't get on furniture. Like, that he has his places around the house that he goes to. He's got this bed here, one in the kitchen, one up in our room. And then he's not allowed in the girls' rooms. The 2 big girls share a room, and then the baby has her own room, and like, he lays outside their doors. He's never been allowed in, like, all the houses we've lived, Minnesota, New Jersey, he's never been allowed in those rooms. It's just like, I watched him pee outside the other day and then fully turn around and walk his paws through his pee. Like, that's just not paws that I want in my child's room. Like, that's kind of where I kind of stop on the being a dog person situation. So, but this family that we had him trained him, this is the stuff that they taught him. Like, he knows to stay in our yard. We've never really needed an electric fence. He doesn't jump, and he goes to his place that he lays on because he's a good boy. So that's Toby. Oh, and then the only other time, oh my gosh, Toby, that day. So I have cousins in Pennsylvania, and Toby was young at this point. He was probably a year old. Toby's as old as our marriage. That's what I always say. He's born the same month of our anniversary, like this, you know, so he's always like turning the same age as our marriage, like a couple days later. Anyways, Toby's like a year old. We're living in Pennsylvania, and my mom's from there, so we have a bunch of cousins, boy cousins who are younger than me specifically. And I have this one boy cousin who's like ultimate farm boy. Like, he's always owned land. He's got tractors. He's got chickens. He's got the whole thing. I had to go up to New York City for a job, and I was like, hey, Steve, can Toby come stay with you? I think it was for like 24 hours. And Steve's got labs already. So he's like, yeah, hell yeah, bring him over. And like, right. So I show up at my cousin's land, and I think he like kind of had a structure of a house at a time / like a trailer. Anyways, I pull up and I let Toby out, and I'm like, hey, Steve, we're here. Toby's barking. He's all excited. And he doesn't come out of the house. Toby barrels into Steve's yard where the chickens are. Didn't know they were out. Didn't know their gates were open. Everyone starts freaking out, including me. The chickens, Toby, myself. Toby gets a chicken, okay, in his mouth. I mean, he's a lab, for crying out loud. Are they not like bird hunter dogs? Is that not like the definition of a lab? I'm so glad I did this show in my living room today. Like, he's given us so much material already. They do step on your feet, Bubba. That's hilarious. Toby, why are you stepping on people's feet? Anyways, he got the chicken in his mouth, and I was like, okay, we're about to have like a murder scene. I was fully prepared to have full-blown dog trauma. Like, the bird was squealing. I was screaming for my cousin, Steven, and he came out, and he was like just out of college at the time, and he's got like basketball shorts on, no shirt, and he's like, Toby, big old voice, and Toby like looked at him and just like dropped, because the labs have this soft jaw. Have you heard of this? Like, when they go bird hunting, their jaw, they know like genetically to not like crush the birds that they are hunted. So if you go like duck hunting with a lab, I guess they go and they get the ducks for you, but they don't bite down. I didn't know this until this situation. Also, this bird that he picked up played dead. Everyone was saved, okay? Me from emotional trauma. The bird, the chicken, Toby let the bird out, like unlocked his jaw, let the bird out. The bird laid there. Toby came back to Steven because he wasn't listening to me, went back to him. And then the bird was laying there and then was like got up and shook his feathers and then walked off. And I was just like, oh my God, we were about to have a murder scene on our hands. So anyways, that was I forgot that Toby story. That was so funny that day. He's a good dog. That's awesome. Mouth thing, exactly. You know, Brian. You guys, that's it. Usually I only do 30 minutes by myself, but the new I'm gonna figure out a way to do this from here horizontally, schedule the live, so hopefully it shows up on the TV differently. And I think we made some new friends today by doing it this way. So I'm gonna keep it creative and keep it changing about so we can keep up with our 1K friends on No Breaks. If you watched today, hi, I'm Jamie. This is No Breaks with Jamie Erdahl. We don't take commercials. We just kind of spit stories as they come to. People ask questions. People say things. We participate. And you guys are awesome. So have a good Monday. I'll see you tomorrow. I also am kind of intimidated by my technology. It's not being very friendly right now. And I hope we're back in action with my friend Giselle Ugardi tomorrow because she's great on Tuesdays. So you guys, millennial peace sign, have a great day, but not as good as a day as Toby's having because Toby's a good one. Bye, Toby.